to TanderCon, and well, we've been doing a good bit of work to Soggy Bottom and stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and show what we got so far. I'm going to go work on something a little bit different and unusual. Fighting with my GUI stuff here. Alrighty. So this is pretty much the post office. We pretty well finished it off. Oh, zombie outside somewhere. Yeah, still have occasional zombies spawning in the village here and there, but, you know, we'll work on that eventually. Get out of here, you. Ruining my party. Get out of my house. Oh, alright, so, just, you know, get all this done up. Trader mats here, good to go. Got some lights at the top. Windows, pretty much the way we decided to finish them off with. A little chest back here. So it looks pretty good. I added some extra little bits around the edges and stuff here and there. And did up the outside pretty nicely. So let's look around at some of these other buildings then. So I got quite a few around here. Next we built this building, and we don't know if we're going to use it for a house or a shop. It would work for either one. So this was rather tough to get the micro blocks right here. Like there's a bunch of micro blocks sitting right here trying to get this bit of edging just built right into the wall. So I was experimenting with it in different windows and things. Over here looks pretty good. I like this back wall a bit. And it's got nice big windows to this gigantic world hole that shouldn't be there. Mods. Even in vanilla those things show up for me sometimes. So never mind. Just Minecraft. God. And then we built this bit of shanties back here. So we got like 3 really small shacks with a makeshift bed. They don't have much in their houses, but you know, oh well. The poor, they get by with what they got. This is like, you know, the barrel for the poor people to warm themselves up on. But they're not that poor, I guess. And there's another one, it's pretty much not the same way, and another one, same way, and oh yeah, I had to put something or other down here, otherwise they could jump out the windows, or mobs would jump through the windows to attack them. But most of the time it's pretty well safe around here. I added an outhouse. It's the crapper. And somehow Lo managed to log in, jumped down the toilet, and died. That was a few days ago now. He died in the crapper. I think there was some quicksand in the bottom of it for some reason. What a mess. Alright, I just made this house today. It looks probably interesting from the inside more than the outs. It's got this interesting design here. It looks like a gigantic Roman numeral 2 on the inside. A bunch of windows, very windowy. Nice flooring in here. And I went ahead and played around with the micro blocks and put a whole bunch of little strips and stuff around the windows and door on it, just to play around. I don't know, I might take some of it off because on this particular side it looks like there's too much of it, but I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. And I built this building to my left here. It's kind of got a face on the front. Gigantic gaping mouth with teeth. And I figured I'd throw in a little cobble around the base, just to see if I can make cobble look good. It turned out pretty good. Interesting window right here. And let's see, over here we got the bit of the dock. I really like the way this building turned out. It's pretty much the port warehouse, I guess you could call it. And it kind of looks like a Japanese temple by accident in a way, but I think it looks really good. Maybe it looks like an old styled from like 100 years ago port in Japan, maybe. I really like the way this particular wood, which I think is kapok, went with this great wood right here. And it turned out quite nice. Over here on the dock, I removed some of the docking because the way CCR built it, it looked like a swastika. And somebody commented, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to take that down. Didn't really want to have that kind of message going on here. But here we got a boat. CCR built this one. Actually, it's not too bad for a boat. it represents the boat pretty good. It's not a real big one. It didn't really have to be a real big one. We could probably use a better wheel right here. Probably micro block a nice wheel there sometime. Some furled sails, or yeah, furled sails. And over there, being eaten by a world hole, is a bar out on the dock. So I'm gonna relog real quick and go ahead and fix the world hole. Sheep, what are you doing on the dock? Go away. Poor sheepy. So this is the Gut Rot bar, and it looks a lot like the port. Same color scheme pretty much. It's just that the port looks so cool. I thought this would work for a bar too. I don't have any of the decor inside yet, but we can throw something nice in there later. I haven't really furnished any of the other buildings besides the post office. This is just going to be a little cellar down here. We can store all the extra booze and maybe some food and stuff down here. So that's all I got so far. Currently, we updated to the next version, 5.2.0 of Feed the Beast, and it's kind of given some of us problems. I'm not having any trouble at all, but the Ace 0296, he had to disable NEI entirely because it kept on crashing him for some weird reason. And then now CCR, he's on a Mac, and he can't log in without crashing every 3 to 5 minutes. It just runs out of memory no matter what he uses, no matter what he puts his memory to. So in the meantime, like, I may eventually start working more on Soggy Bottom and, you know, do some more buildings here and there. But I got another secret project that I'm going to start working on. Deep underground. I've got this gigantic cube made entirely of reinforced stone. So this is a little secret project that I've generally told people in the server about, but I never really told them what it was. I'm just saying that there's a secret project going on. So I've got this gigantic 40 by 40 by 41 cube. Somehow I accidentally made it an extra block too high. And it's pretty close to bedrock. Like, way down here is y equals 9, so the this block here is on y equals 8 for whatever reason. And I'm going to build basically a gigantic bunker down here, or sort of like an underground city in a way. So just in case Soggy Bottom has another horrible disaster, all the villagers have a place to go, you know, until things blow over. So they don't have to endure another gigantic destruction of everything they hold dear and not have a place to sleep. So I'm going to build like a bunch of stuff in here and try to fill up this thing with a bunch of cool stuff. Like, this is going to be all technological and things. Very blast proof in case anything goes on. I'm going to have nuclear power in here, a breeder reactor I had hooked up over here, I just tore it down. For testing and stuff, and I'm gonna put like a floor for all the inhabitants and stuff on the top, and stick some vaults and computers all over the place, and maybe a train station to get out of here, elevator to get to the surface, some parks, tree farms and things like that inside. I'm gonna make a park out of this little area that's just attached to the side of this gigantic cube, stick some windows on the side here. And just, you know, have a nice little park in here for people to go into. I have to clean this cave up. It's a freaking mess in here. Stuff spawning like mad, trying to kick my butt, everything. But this thing took forever to dig out, and even with a quarry it took a while, not too long. But it took me forever to get all the stone. Like, this stuff is ridiculous to make. It's not even cheap. So, back at my base, I've got this big mess of a factory I had built. And this whole section right here just produces advanced alloy. And I needed absolute ass tons of this stuff to make the all that reinforced stone and glass. I got some glass made up too. And this was a second factory that was like smelting cobble and turning it into smooth stone, but I needed a bunch of red cobblestone turned into just red rock too, so it'll also double as a general smelter because it's got like this furnace here, so it works pretty nice. But the way this was set up was this whole thing here, I would make a whole bunch of advanced alloy, and I would by hand take it over to this chest and just slap it right in here with a bunch of the stone, and it would go through the trouble to make the reinforced stone. So here's the reinforced stone recipe. It's like 8 smooth stone and 1 advanced alloy in the middle. This is just extra overflow right here. And so it would give you 8 reinforced stone blocks. So this thing is not cheap at all, especially if you look at this, what it takes to make the advanced alloy. So let's just go ahead and start from the beginning on this little factory. I'm going to remake this later because this one's kind of a mess and a little bit of testing here and there. But I got it all to work fairly well, but I could rebuild it better and smaller, compact. So I got chests here and I throw like ore into. There's iron, there's copper, there's a golem in my way. God damn it. There's a tin, tin chest. And so this thing right here is one of those iron end gates, and it's like if it's got signal and stuff, and there's room in the macerator, it'll start pulling out some iron ore. So like right here's the on and off switch, so I can turn the whole system off and on right just with that. So it's kind of weird the way I'd have to explain this properly, because it like the redstone runs from the back, but all the devices, like all the ore and stuff, runs from the front down. So I guess I'd probably have to explain this twice if I did it properly. Alright, so let's just start here. Iron and gates, pulling crap out of the chest into my macerator. It's got an upgrade in this one. Then it goes and cooks the iron dust into iron. And that gives me iron ingots, which I got to cook again into this thing's, we've been using them. Refined iron, okay. So then scoot over here. I've got a whole bunch of copper ore, and it's being grinded into dust. That way I get 2 dusts, 2 ingots per ore, and this furnace would cook all the copper. And it would just slap all the copper into this chest right here, and also my tin right here gets grinded again, cooked, thrown into the chest as well. And then down here I've got this particular emerald pipe that will suck out, I believe it is 4 pieces of tin and 3 pieces of copper out of this particular chest when it happens to have all that in it. Some of it goes to the auto crafting table here to make bronze, and it's not entirely ratioed quite right. I haven't quite figured out everything out yet. I could probably rebuild this better, as I said before. But so, you know, see right here I got this pipe, the diamond pipe. So it's trying to send a bunch of copper this way and a tin the other way, and somehow I'm actually making extra bronze more than I'm making tin. So I gotta have tin, bronze, and refined iron to make these mixed metal ingots, and this thing just does the whole thing for me. And I have went through thousands of mixed metal ingots now, probably over 2,000 I've had to build, and to do all that by hand would have been a nightmare. So I just made a factory to do the whole thing for me. It just saved me so much time and effort. So I'm gonna make like a whole bunch of stuff like this inside that that area, and that way I've got, you know, factories for all the real complicated stuff that I use very often. Other things I've been up to is we've rebuilt a sorting system over here. Like, we had a really crappy one that was not working right at all because these Buildcraft pipes, they don't work very well with barrels. They'll only do it from the top. For instance, you've got to put your pipe on the top of one of these barrels, otherwise it will only stick 1 stack of stuff in it instead of a whole bunch. But our last system had barrels on top and bottom, and the top set of barrels just wouldn't do anything. So I was standing there, like right over here, trying to pull stuff out of barrels, and then, you know, all of a sudden I hear a hissing noise, like right behind me, and then half my sorting system's all over the floor, and I was like, yeah, this is a good time to rebuild. We ought to go ahead and do that now. So we got this item tester rack that's pulling out of a quarry. And I got this thing running all the time because I needed so much stuff. to do the things I wanted to do. So it's just sucking stuff from the quarry here and running through all my pipes. It's just got simple filters here, like, let's see, red, black's down. Okay, so if it's cobblestone, it tries to push it down, but this thing's full, so it's all going over here to this pipe, and here's all my junk that's being void piped, destroyed. Stuff I don't need any more of or don't want any of. And then once it's done with this wall, it'll just jump through this pipe and onto some more way over here. It goes behind this wall here and ends up like right there and jumps through all these pipes. So it pretty much is like a gigantic if or and if not statement in a way. It's like, if this is this particular item, throw it down this particular pipe, you know, and if it's not, it just moves on. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I got so much stuff in here now, like so much iron, it's ridiculous. I've really been going through the tin and mostly the copper, because for me to make a breeder reactor with some 1,000+ things of copper. Oh, and by the way, I'm diamond rich at the moment, just a wee bit. I don't even know how many stacks, like 30 stacks of diamonds sitting in there. And this is right here is my 4 overflow chests. So if it goes through all the rest of these, it'll just spit out into this and get some uranium in here and there. And, red cobblestone's never really been given its own spot to go, so it's going in here. All these rocky princesses you can't really sort out anyway. How the heck did this guy in here get in here? Well, and then this is just a bunch of extra storage for whatever else junk I feel like throwing in here. So I've just got a lot of stuff going on in here, not to mention butt tons of, this is all coming from my farm here, and I've just been by hand throwing all my rubber, well, my sap, over into this barrel right here at 254 stacks of sap. Oh my god, so much sap, it's ridiculous. But everything's been going pretty cool lately. So I just wanted to, you know, go ahead and get everybody a big update on what I'm doing so far, and then I'm going to start working on building out this this special project I've been playing with, and then you know, because I want to do some of it on video at least. So I'll catch you in a while. Well, several hours later, I did quite a bit of work to this place so far. I got floor done mostly. This is mostly just the prototype of the floor. I don't have anything fancy done with it. So this right here is just a big build area. I like to have some place to prototype stuff and play with things. But where it gets interesting, a little bit more interesting, is the next floor up. So this will likely eventually become the room where I have all the MFEs and MFSUs, and right below it's probably going to be nuclear power plants. Over here is going to be pretty much a turtle room. I'm going to have a turtle sitting right here, and he's just going to farm away at all these trees. I went ahead and planted a few just to spruce it up in here a little and to make sure I had enough room for them. Apparently I only need to have room for them for 2 floors tall. So I can floor over it on the top floor over here. And down here, I'm probably going to have all of the geothermal generators in here, and a gigantic 9x9x8 geothermal or lava tank right here. Freaking huge thing. It's the biggest tank you can make with Railcraft. And I went ahead and put in some windows so you can see out into the cave. I'll put in a little park out here later. And the entrance will be right there. But otherwise I got some nice windows up here so you can see down a little bit. So you can see some of the scope and the scale of this place from above. When I get the next floor up, I'll put some more windows in its floors too. And I got a lot to do on this place still. But it's a start. This here's my prototype of a staircase. It's definitely going to be looking better when I'm done with it. But my idea with this was, since most of the time almost anybody on the server has a jetpack, you can be down here and just jetpack up to the floor you want, because I have this huge open space. And there's another spot you could do that over here, but I might change it a little bit and throw in somewhere. I'm going to throw in some it was a magnetizer elevators. I put those in some of my places like several seasons ago, so I figured I might try it again. But between every floor, I've got a couple blocks, and it's just a little crawl space sort of a thing. But this is just for wire runs. I can run pipes all the way through it, and that way I don't have to have them uglifying up the rest of the place, and I have plenty of room to run anything I could possibly want. And so it should be pretty good. Also, I'll likely use some teleporting stuff too with the item and tesseracts and stuff. So one way or another, I'm going to have plenty of room for all the pipes and things. Also, right here, I've got this wee little dinky room, and this is just going to be a pipe and wire tube that goes up and down the whole entire way. So, like the main power pipe, or power wire, is just going to be running through this from top to bottom, floor to floor, and it'll recharge everything on every floor from one giant bank that's going to be downstairs a ways. But I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with the third floor. Somewhere or other, I have to hook up a rail station, and that's going to be probably on the outside of the cube and just have an entrance that's locked normally. And also at the top somewhere, I'm going to have an elevator to the surface with probably something I hadn't played with before, the railcraft, or not the railcraft, the red power frames and frame motors and stuff, but I'll have to learn how to use it first. I'm not particularly familiar. I might ask Ace about that later, if he knows anything about it, but anyway, I'm gonna keep working on this.